there.
We occasionally have ice here. We haven't had much of a winter,
Yeah.
but tell me, I'm curious because I get the impression you do everything. But what really are the main jobs of a team president?
Well, it's the president of any company. You know, we have a dozen different departments, and then each of them has a dozen departments under them, and it's setting the course for the company.
I don't think a fan would say it's any company, though, because a lot of it's fun, isn't it?
I know, but you know what? It's in their best interest for me to think of it as any company, and for me not call them fans, call them customers. They do better when I think of them as customers, because if I know I need to win their business every day and not just expect it because they're a fan, they do much better, and if they do better, I do better. So I do think of it as a business. I do know that I need to have the product be as good as it can be. That's important in business. I know I need to make the customer experience the best it can be. That's important in business. And I know I need to build my brand, and in my business, that's community relations. If I take care of those three things, the product, the customer experience, and the brand, the community relations, I'm going to be successful. So I focus on all of those things. I tell all the departments what I expect, how I see this working.
How many people work for you?
Well, we have over 100 in the front office, and I have about 200 baseball players around the world. On a game night, I'll have 1,000 temporary staff between food service people and ushers, and so it's a lot of organizing.
How many cell phones do you have?
I just have the one. Unfortunately, everyone in the world has that number, you know.
It's time to change
and I do, you know, answer the phone. I do respond to emails. That's
you certainly do.
I do, right? Okay.
I was impressed.
Yeah, it's just a thing I do. It can wear you out, but it's, you know, I'd rather do that than not do that.
Well, let's talk about these components, these three things that you have to do. I would guess the most important is building the team.
Yeah, because nothing works without that.
But that's the heart and soul of what you're doing. And how has that gone?
It's gone fantastic. As you know, by now you've researched it, so you do know. When we got here, we were at the tail end of a stewardship that was difficult for the baseball team. The baseball team was owned by Major League Baseball. They were holding it to sell, so they didn't have any interest in propping it up long-term or developing long-term assets. They just had to keep it ready to sell.
They were sort of taking out of it what if they wanted a player.
That was happening, and it's no fault of anyone. That was their mission then. But when we came in, we obviously did need it to be good for a long term. The day we took over, Baseball America, the service that ranks minor league organizations, had us ranked number 30. Now that's only because there are only 30 teams. You know, we probably would have been lower if there were.
Question,
31. And so we put our mind to work and all our energy to build up the infrastructure, the minor league apparatus.
Did you get a team and the farm team too?
Yeah.
How many farm
Such
teams
as it is.
did you do?
Well, we have affiliations, and we have 6 minor league teams, which is what virtually every team has.
And that came with the team?
Yeah.
You don't need to build that. That's enough.
Well, no, but it's the players that we need to build. We had the teams. Now we need to fill them up with players. That was kind of a problem for us. So we spent the last year and a half hiring the best scouts we could have and the best instructors we could have. Well, I have 50 of them. I don't have time to name them all right now, but they're really good. And here's the measure of that. A year later, Baseball America, that ranked us 30 a year ago, this year has ranked us number 9.
Oh,
it's
awesome.
Yeah, it's about the largest one-year jump in the history of baseball. Thank you.
So what kind of, the team that arrived here in 2005 and the team that will start in a few days, how much change has there been?
Yeah, 90%. Yeah, and we still need some more change till we're ready to go. Building from the bottom up takes a little time. It took time. That's how we did it in Atlanta. It took a little time. I remind people that when we took over Atlanta, we had the highest payroll in baseball, and we had a last place team, which is almost hard to do if you're trying to do that on purpose. You know, that's just a bad way to be. And it took a little time, but we did it the right way, and we're trying to employ the same methods we used there. And we're having success. It feels great. The best index of that I've been talking about recently, I just got back from spring training, and we're strong all around the diamond. Our offense is much better. We continue to have questions about our starting rotation up here. But that's just for this next year.
Do you still have to make some cuts?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, we have, right now, as of this morning, we have 39 players left. We'll start the season with 25. But the best news is in Columbus, our AAA team, we have 6 starters that are ready to go there. And not one of them is an old veteran that we just picked up to pitch. All 6 of them are young kids on the way north, you know,
Yeah.
on the way to Washington. Couldn't have said that a year ago. Was unimaginable 2 years ago. So everything is on track.
A hardcore fan wanted me to ask if you're thinking of moving the Columbus team to Richmond, if you can do that.
Richmond right now belongs to another team, so
But aren't
I'm
they
not allowed to
selling?
talk about it.
Okay.
Well, they're moving.
Okay, they're
But,
moving.
but the franchise is moving, and there's no franchise there right now next year if this team moves. And there's no stadium. But I don't think it takes a great imagination to realize that, wow, a team in Richmond would be very cool for a team in Washington. Yeah.
Right. Well, and doesn't that then link to the community relations part?
It would be
of your-
great, yes.
You know, to just keep.
If that were possible,
bringing
it would
the
be
team
great.
here.
As of today, it's not possible.
What? So you. When does the team come back from Florida?
They come back next Thursday night. They have a game in Florida in the afternoon. They get on a plane. They come back. The first time they see the stadium
And
is
will
next
that be
Thursday night.
The final team that flies up here.
No, we have an
There'll still be
exhibition
another
game.
cut?
After the Saturday exhibition game, we'll make our final cuts.
So when will they play their first game in? When will they first
Well-
even practice in this stadium?
They get there and see the ballpark for the first time Thursday night. They have their first practice Friday night, their first exhibition game Saturday night, and the first real game, national
the Braves.
TV opener Sunday
You
night,
arranged
the
for
30th.
it to be the Braves,
No,
right?
I didn't care. You know, people come up to me all the time and say, "Stan, I'm a big Braves fan." I said, "You know, you can get over that. You know, really, you can outgrow that and move on."
Have you invited Ted Turner to come up as your guest?
You know, Ted just, his office called me last week. He's having a 70th birthday that he's invited me to. I saw him a year ago when he was in town speaking at the press club, and those are always rare events because
Yeah.
he doesn't have notes. He doesn't know what he's going to say, let alone. I haven't talked to him in probably a year.
Right. So he won't be. He
He
won't be there.
Not a big sports fan. You know, he's a fan of new, creative, interesting.
Land
Right
and-
now, his biggest passion are his restaurants. Late in life, he got into this restaurant
he has
business.
passions rather than being.
He has many passions.
He has many
yes.
passions.
Yes.
But okay, so I think you need to be commended because you did get the stadium open on time. I mean, you really
Give me 10 days, but I think we will.
No,
Yeah.
you've achieved. Anybody who's ever even just tried to renovate a kitchen knows that what
Yeah.
you've done is pretty amazing.
Yeah.
But I'm just curious, for players, is there a breaking in period? I mean, is this like wearing new shoes?
It's not quite that painful, you know, when done right, you know. But there's
I mean,
learning
is
the
a
stadium.
A stadium, or
No,
it
no, no,
needs
no,
to
no,
be
no.
learned?
Baseball, unlike football, unlike basketball, unlike hockey, stadiums are
Every
unique.
field is
They have unique dimensions. They play their own way. So we have outfield walls that are different. What is particularly unique in our situation is we don't yet know how it's going to play because we have the potential of a wind tunnel either coming down Half Street and leaving through the upper deck opening or maybe coming the other direction. We don't know, and whatever it is on opening day is still likely to change because Half Street is going to see development on both sides of the street over the next few years.
Yeah.
And every time a building goes up, it changes wind patterns. And so you have to play the stadium you're dealt, but it will always be changing.
How do you feel about all that development?
Development is great. That, you know, it's we all talk about what has happened in Chinatown. The Gallery Place, a wonderful thing. We know we are the centerpiece of what I hope will become a mile-long esplanade on that river. It's going to be very cool, very exciting, and it will have its best chance of succeeding if first we get our job done right. I think we will, but that's the key to everything else working.
So the players come in, and has anybody even hit a ball in there yet?
You know, yeah, we had a gimmicky kind of press event in the fall before they left for the year, but it was just dirt, and you know, we didn't have seats.
Now that you've got the grass,
No.
now that it looks like
No,
something.
no.
You haven't gone down and just popped one?
No,
for the,
no. I have people to do things
have
like
people
that. Yeah. Highly paid people. They hit the balls and
Or
stuff.
maybe
Yeah.
Ted Lerner would like to be the first
Yeah.
one.
No, but he's been in the middle of everything. The whole family, Ted Lerner, Mark Lerner, Ed Cohen, Bob Tannenbaum, they've all been consumed with this.
Ted to Ted.
Yeah, that's been pointed out before.
And how do you compare the two Teds?
They're both intensely smart about what they do, passionate about what they do, so they have that in common. What they couldn't be more different in is Ted Turner lives, breathes, manufactures publicity. He's a human publicity machine.
Yeah.
I know, because for a few years I was on the full-time apology team that we had every day.
Or
We're
explaining.
apologizing for something,
Yeah.
and Ted Lerner's the opposite. Ted Lerner wants no public attention. He wants it to succeed.